Have you ever found yourself on the bandstand playing a shuffle and the song is really long and you find yourself getting a little bit bored or wishing that there's something else you could play, some kind of variation you could do with the shuffle? This video will give you some ideas to play different styles of shuffles that lock in better at different tempos and can also help change things up if you're having to play it for a long, long time. So I've been playing shuffles for a long time in my career, and I've been in situations where I've had to play a song for maybe 10 minutes because a lot of people are taking solos. I've been in situations where someone calls a shuffle at a super fast tempo, and I'm thinking to myself, how in the heck am I going to play the shuffle pattern that fast? I've also played shuffles that are really, really slow, and I have to think, what can I do to keep this interesting? So I've come up with several different variations that I use that have helped me adapt to different tempos, different styles, and I've also picked up some along the way just from recordings and some of my heroes who play shuffles slightly differently. So let's talk about slow tempos. So slow tempos have a lot of space to fill, and that's an ideal time to play the full shuffle pattern where you're playing all the notes of the shuffle. Like I said, you have a lot of space to fill, so you can play all those notes. So for each one of these ride patterns I'm going to show you, you can play several variations with your left hand, starting with the full shuffle like I just did. You can also play just the backbeat. Now that might not be that interesting at that tempo, but it's something to start with. So you can take that, you can add the pickup to the backbeat. Then you can add the note that comes after the backbeat. So like I said, I reserve that just for slow tempos when you have a lot of space to fill. The next one I'm going to talk about, I'm actually going to go the other end of the spectrum. I'm going to talk about fast tempos. You might be in a situation where someone's going to call a shuffle and you're going to have to play. Now that's very taxing and it's hard to do for a long time. So one of the things you can do is you can lighten up on the cymbal. You don't have to keep that full pattern going the whole time. In fact, you can even get away with playing quarter notes, believe it or not. I have had to do that when I was dying from cymbal cramp. The song just would never end. So what I would do is I would take just quarter notes with the cymbal, and then you can go through all variations of the shuffle pattern with the left hand. I'm going to show you how to build it. Now keep in mind, this is fast tempos. This would probably not work well with slower medium. So let's say it's really swinging like this. Now I know that might not seem like a shuffle to you, but if the rest of the rhythm section is driving that beat and if the horns are playing, that's going to support the band. Next step would be to add a pickup to 2 and 4, like this. If you're wondering how I'm doing that whip so fast, check out my video on playing shuffles with traditional grip. It's video number 2 in my series. So then the next thing you could do is add the note after 2 and 4. Okay, we're still staying fast here. So for me, this is my metronome. This helps keep me locked in. And then the last step, if you're able to, if you want to try, you could do the full shuffle pattern here. don't know if I'd really do that for very long, but those are variations that you could try on fast tempos. Remember, you can lighten things up. You don't have to play every note of the entire pattern, and you can still emulate a shuffle. So now let's talk about medium tempos. And this is the shuffle pattern that I use probably more than any other. And that's where instead of playing the entire shuffle rhythm on the ride cymbal, you just play a swing rhythm like this. Now in my other videos, I talk about one of the differences in feel between a swing beat and a shuffle beat is a driving quarter note pulse. Plus there's accent on 2 and 4. So if I take my swing pattern, but I just do a backbeat on 2 and 4. That's going to give the band the kind of support that they need for when they're playing a shuffle. Now to make it sound more shuffly, we're going to add a pickup to 2 and 4 while we're playing the swing rhythm over here. That right there is the shuffle pattern that I probably play the most. It sits really well at that tempo and a little bit faster. Because all of those notes of the shuffle rhythm are still being played, just not all on one spot. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, and so it swings. So the next step is to take the note after 2 and 4. Just like we did before. This is playing the swing pattern. Okay, and then you could play the full shuffle pattern with this while you're swinging with this. Okay, so I hope that gives you some ideas to try some different variations with shuffles. Take a look at it, try them out. What you'll find, and what you hopefully notice in this, is that these different patterns actually give the shuffle a different feel, and that might fit in better to some songs, because sometimes shuffles are looser and swinging, sometimes they're hard and they're tight, sometimes they're super fast, sometimes they're super slow. And the more options you have, then the more things you have in your grab bag to try when you're playing. So if you'd like to dig into shuffles a little bit more, you can check out my other videos in this series. Video 1 goes through how to get the shuffle feeling really swinging using match grip. Video 2 is the same thing but with traditional grip. And then video 4 is going to cover rock shuffles.